Okay, guys, good evening to everyone. So, welcome back in the last day of this bootcamp. Okay, where we are discussing about how to build a spam mail detector application. Okay, now in the first 2 day, guys, we discuss the entire theory, what are all the what are all the concepts and what are all the techniques which actually involved which we need in all in for making for building this particular a model for building this particular application. So on the very first day we discuss about so I'm just taking a quick recap like whatever we have done so far. So on the very first day we discuss about what is a natural language processing, introduction about an NLP. Then we also discuss about the regular expression, one of the concept which actually help us to yeah, good evening everyone, guys, which can help us to for like a text processing. Text processing simply means that if I want to clean my data set, so it actually helps me to clean the data. It helps me to get any like a particular information from my data set. Okay, the second on the second day, guys, we discuss about something called as stemming and lemmatization. Sorry. And along with the stemming and lemmatization, we also discuss about bag of word and a TF IDF. Okay, so this is nothing but a technique through which we can convert our like a text data into the vector form. In simple word, we are converting our like a word into the vectors. We are converting our like a word into the numerical values. Okay, and definitely, guys, it is very important like a process because my model, my algorithm. Okay, so the machine learning algorithm or like my machine learning algorithm can only understand like numerical values. It can only understand the digits. It cannot understand any like a word. It cannot understand any like a textual data. Okay, and that's the reason we need to convert our like a text data. We need to convert our like a words like a data into the vector form, into the numerical form. Okay. I will check Ashok. I hope it was updated. And I told you guys in case if you're not in case you're not able to find maybe any note, although all the notes are actually available in this particular documentation session. Okay, yeah, all in one documentation. You're able to find all the notes. If there is something missing, so it will definitely be uploaded after like a today's session. And in case if you're not able to find, so you can also go into my GitHub page, because on my GitHub page also you can find all these materials. You can also connect with me like from here. Fine. Now, guys, so these are like concepts. Okay, so the first thing we discussed, like how to pre-process our data, how to clean the data, how to remove the noise from the data. So this is the first thing we discuss. What is regular expression? Then the second thing which we discuss is nothing but that how we can convert our like a word into the vectors, our like a text data into the numerical values. Okay, and guys, yesterday I think we are on to the naive base, and but I'm not able to show you the example because of the time constraint. So today, guys, I told you that in the first 20 minutes, we'll try to understand this particular algorithm. Okay, although I've shown you the mathematics, I have shown you the like a formula, like how this particular like a model can be developed. Okay, so I think I already shown you this particular like a formula. So this is nothing but a formula for a probability, posterior probability, and this is how we can calculate the probability of probability for any new message, whether that particular new message is like a spam message or whether it's a non-spam message. Okay, so this is how we are going to calculate the probability. We are going to predict like for any new message. Okay, now, guys, we can try to understand this particular like a formula, we can try to understand the working of this particular algorithm into the backend. Although, guys, when we are going to implement this particular algorithm, so we can implement it just by using a library. Okay, we don't need to write this entire formula manually. Okay, there's a library for it. But definitely, guys, it is very important to know like what is going on internally. Okay, this particular formula helps me to like predict anything, to predict any output. Okay, so for that reason, guys, I have taken one example. Okay, and just try to focus over here, guys, for the next 20 minutes, and you are able to understand about this particular the working of this particular algorithm, like how this particular algorithm works in a backend, and giving me the probability. Okay, now guys, over here, this is like one data set which I have taken over here as an example. And in this data set, guys, so these are my features. Okay, so what is my objective with this particular data set? So my objective is to check based on a given weather condition. Okay, based on based on any particular weather condition, whether I can play tennis or not. Okay, so I can just I can simply try to take any maybe a weather condition. Okay, I can try to take maybe 3 weather condition, I can try to take 4 weather condition together. So based on maybe any particular weather condition, my model will predict, my algorithm will predict whether I can play the tennis or not. Okay, so now guys, let's try to look at this example. So you can see, like in this example, we have multiple columns. So the first column over here is outlook, the second column is a temperature, the third column is a humidity, and the fourth column is windy. And then we have we have one column over here as a a play tennis. Okay, so this play tennis means whether I can play the tennis or whether I cannot play the tennis. Okay, now in my data set, guys, if you try to count this number, so in total there are 14 examples. Okay, so in total there are 14 samples given to me. Okay, now out of this 14 sample, guys, if I want to check what is the probability of yes. Okay, if I try to check what is the probability of yes, so you can try to count that how many times we are getting yes, okay, into this particular data set. So if you want to calculate the probability for yes, so you simply need to count that how many times yes comes like over here. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So 9 times we are getting yes, and in total we have 14 examples. Okay, so I told you even yesterday like how the probability can be calculated. So the probability of yes is 9 upon 14. Similarly, guys, if I want to find out the probability for no, so if 9 times we are getting yes, and in total we have 14 examples, it means 5 times there will be no. Okay, so this is my probability for yes and no respectively. Okay, now guys, we can try to again try to calculate the probability with like a different a weather condition. So let me take this weather condition first. Let me try to take this outlook first. Okay, now when I take the outlook value, okay, and you can guys for a time you can also try to take like a screenshot of this particular example, this particular data set for a time being, so that you can also understand this calculation along with me. Okay, so if I take the outlook over here, now in outlook there are 3 different a weather conditions. So the first weather condition is sunny, the second weather condition is overcast, and the third weather condition is rainy. Okay, so means outside there can be like a sunny, means like a warm weather, there can be overcast condition, and there can be a rainy condition. Okay, now again there can be only 2 possibilities, just like our spam mail detection. So whether this mail can spam or mail cannot be spam, there can be only 2 possibilities, so 2 classes. Similarly over here, based on any weather condition, maybe I can play the tennis or I cannot play the tennis. There can be only 2 conditions. Okay, so let's see guys that how many times we are getting yes with sunny, means the weather condition is sunny and I'm able to play the tennis. How many times we are getting yes with sunny? So I think we are getting yes with sunny just for 2 times. Okay, so you can see this time and this time we are getting yes with sunny. Okay, so I can say 2, and 3 times we are getting no with sunny. Similarly in the overcast condition, so if you try to check with the overcast, guys, so you can simply try to check, guys, just try to check like 4 times we are getting overcast, 1 2 3 4, and every time with the overcast we are getting yes, it means 4 and 0. Then if I try to check with the maybe a rainy, so again a rainy comes 5 times, so 5 times out of 5 times, 3 times there will be yes and 2 times there will be no. So you can try to count, guys. With rainy yes, with rainy yes, and with rainy yes, and then with rainy no, and then with rainy no. So 2 times no and 3 times yes we are getting. So guys, if I try to find out the probability for yes over here and the probability for no, with respect to a different weather condition. So what is the probability of years when the weather condition is sunny? Okay, now this is a conditional probability, guys. What is the probability of years given that weather condition is sunny? Okay, so it will be nothing but 2 upon 5, because 2 times we are getting yes, and how many total values of sunny? 5. Okay, so it will be 2 upon sorry, not 2 upon 5, it will be 2 upon 9, because total 9 times we are getting yes into my data set. Okay, so total 9 times we are getting yes, so it will be 2 upon 9. Similarly, guys, if I count for overcast, so it will be 4 upon 9. And if I want to count for rainy, so it will be 3 upon 9. Then if I want to count for sunny, what is the probability for no, given that weather condition is sunny? So there are total 5 no. So 3 upon 5, 0 upon 5, and 2 upon 5. This is what, guys, we are getting probabilities. Okay, so these are nothing but my probabilities, guys, and these probabilities are nothing but probability of years given that weather condition is sunny. This is nothing but probability of no given that weather condition is sunny. Okay, then with overcast, then with rain. Okay, this is what, guys, we have calculated over here. Now, exactly the same thing we can try to calculate with some other column, like we can try to take the temperature, or we can try to take maybe a humidity, UND, anything. Okay, so let's do one thing, guys. I can try to take maybe one more weather condition, and that is a temperature. Okay, so let's try to do it for a temperature. So when I try to calculate it for temperature, so again, inside a temperature, guys, there are 3 weather conditions. One is hot, the second one is mild, and the third one is cool. Now, guys, again, there will be yes and no. And again, there will be a probability of yes and the probability of no. Now, just try to check like how many times we are getting yes with hot, how many times we are getting hot with yes. So 1, 2, 3, and we are getting no, no, no. Just last time we are getting yes. And one more time we are getting like a hot over here, and we are getting yes. Okay, it means 2 times yes, 2 times no. Simple. Okay, so you simply need to check into your data set, 2 times yes, 2 times no. Then with the mild, if you try to calculate, guys, so 4 times yes, 2 times no. And with the cool, you will get 3 times yes, 1 time no. Now, if I try to check the probability, so it will be again 2 upon 9, 2 upon 5. It will be 4. It will be 4 upon 9 and 2 upon, and it will be 3 upon 9 and 1 upon 5. Okay, this is 1 second, guys. Yeah, this is how the probabilities will get calculated over here. Okay, now, guys, we have calculated multiple probabilities over here. Now, if someone asks you the question, okay, so I told you that we already understood the formula for a conditional probability, or you can see the posterior probability over here. Now, what is the formula for a posterior probability? So this particular formula says that if I want to check what is the probability of message being spammed, okay, what is the probability for message being spammed given that multiple columns, okay, based on multiple columns, okay, based on multiple words. Okay, so I told you guys yesterday that based on multiple words only, we are able to decide that whether this particular message is a spam or it's a non-spam. Okay, so maybe over here, if I'm getting the words like price, if I'm getting the word like free, if I'm getting the word like coupon, if I'm getting the word like discount, so maybe I will get the probability of 90% that, okay, this particular message is a spam. Similarly, guys, over here, if I want to check that whether I can play the tennis or not, so over here, let's see that how we can calculate this probability. So if someone asks you the question, what is the probability that I can play the tennis? Yes, means what is the probability of yes, given that the weather condition is rainy and cool at the same time. Okay, so if the weather condition is rainy and cool, okay, so I have taken just 2 values, guys. Over here, there can be more values you can take. You can try to take mild, hot, sunny, and all. Okay, but I have taken just 2 things. So what is the probability of yes? What is the probability of yes? So just like what is the probability of a message to being a spam, given that these are the words we are getting. So given that this is a weather condition, so what is the probability that you can play the tennis given that the weather condition is rainy and cool? Okay, now this is what, guys, I need to find it out, and this is what we are going to find it out with the help of naive Bayes. Okay, so let's see that how we can calculate this. So for calculating this, guys, just try to take the same just try to do the same calculation. Yes, along with rainy and cool I want to do. Okay, now guys, just try to look at the example. Let's try to look at the formula first. So I'm not going to change it again and again, otherwise it will be like time taking. So we can try to see the formula over here. So what is the formula? Probability of A by B equals to probability of B by A multiply with probability of A multiply with probability of B. Okay, divide by probability of B. It means that, guys, and guys, this probability of B, this denominator value, I can assume it as a 1. Okay, so we don't need to calculate this. We only need to calculate the value at a numerator. So probability of A by B is nothing but probability of A on the very first place. It means probability of years. Then multiply with the second value, probability of B by A. So probability of B by A, guys. B by A means rainy, probability of rainy by years. And then we have two conditions. So probability of cool by years. Okay, this is what, guys, we need to calculate. Okay, so when I break it, okay, so it is what? This is nothing but A, and this entire thing will be what? B. So when you break it, guys, so this is how it will be calculated. Okay, so because, guys, why we are able to multiply it? Because, guys, we assume that the entire feature, each and every feature into my data set is independent of each other. Okay, that is what my assumption is, guys. This is what we already assume. If I'm using a naive Bayes algorithm, so we already assume that the name naive comes from this particular scenario, that each and every feature. So it is this particular term actually comes into the picture because of the assumption which tells me that each and every features are independent of each other. And if each and every features are independent of each other, it means A is intersection B, which means A multiply with B. I can simply try to multiply these things. Okay, and that's the reason we are able to multiply this. Okay, so we are assuming that both of these are independent features. There is no connection between these two features. Means rainy and cool are completely different features. There is no connection. There is no dependency of rainy on cool. Okay, and that's why we are able to multiply it separately. Okay, now, guys, I can easily calculate it. So we have already calculated all these values. So probability of years is 9/14. Multiply with probability of rainy given years. So this is something which we have already calculated. If you look into your calculation, so I have already calculated what is the probability of rainy given years. It is 3/9. It is 3/9. So probability of rainy given years. And what is the probability of cool given years? So it is 2/9. This is also something which we have already calculated. Now, guys, if you try to do this calculations, so we'll get 3/63. Okay, so 3/63, guys, if you try to calculate it with the help of calculator, so you'll get 0.047. All this calculation, guys, you can definitely do in your calculator. Okay, just in 10 minutes ready. Okay, then what is the probability of no? Again, I can try to calculate another thing. What is the probability of no given that this weather condition? So I need to check both the things. Then only I can calculate the final result. So it will be nothing but probability of no multiply with, again, the same thing, guys, rainy with no and cool with no. Now if you do it, so it will be nothing but 5/14. We have already calculated it. This is nothing but 2/5, and this is nothing but 1/5. Now if you calculate it again, so it will be 1/35, and 1/35 is 0.028. Now, guys, let's see that how we can do the final calculation. So final calculation will be nothing but, guys, probability of years given based on this given weather condition, rainy and cool, it will be nothing but 0.047, which is the probability of years, divided by 0.047 plus 0.028. And this will comes out to be, guys, 0.62, which means there's a 62% chance, guys, that I can play the tennis if the weather condition is so I can play the tennis if the weather condition so I can play the tennis if the weather condition is like a rainy and cool. Okay, so so what is the probability of like a yes means I can play the tennis if the so if guys if the probability is more than 50%. Okay, because I can divide it in like I can make it as 50%. That's I can take 50% as a threshold value. So if I'm getting a probability of 62%, it means what is the probability for no? So the probability for no will be nothing but it will be 1 minus 0.62. So it comes out to be 0.38. It means 38%. Okay. So definitely, guys, the probability for yes is high. It means if the weather condition is rainy and cool, then there is more chance. Okay, there's comparatively there's more chance that I can play the tennis in comparison to no. Okay, so this is how, guys, will take a decision with the help of naive Bayes algorithm. Okay, so this is how we are able to take a decision with the help of naive Bayes algorithm. Okay, so fine, guys. Yeah. Okay, so this is how, guys, you can calculate all these things. It is fine. 1 second. Let me check. Okay, Sampath, so just take 3/9. It's fine. Okay, if it is a like calculating calculation error, so you can definitely check it. Okay, so it will be 1/3. Then three will cancel. So it will become what? It will become 1/7. So just try to do 1/7. It is fine. Okay, Sampath. Okay, we are not willing to check this like a calculation. We are willing to check that how we are like internally what kind of a mathematics is going on and why how we are getting the result. Okay, that is what our agenda is. Okay, so that is the main agenda to check how we are getting the result, how mathematically my models check for any particular result. Okay, so now I think you understood that if a model wants to check that whether the mail is spam or not. Okay, so this is how it will check. Okay, so this is how the calculation will go on. So let's say if I want to check like whether any particular mail is spam or not, so this is how I can check the probability. And if this probability value comes out to be more than 50%, or if this particular probability value is larger in comparison to maybe for a not spam, so then I will say that this particular mail is a spam. Okay, so this is the internal working of, guys, my algorithm. Okay, this is the internal like a working of my algorithm. Okay, so when you are going to implement it, so there's a library for it. Okay, definitely you don't need to do all these calculation like manually in the code. But yeah, guys, you should know all these things, that how internally this entire calculation is taking place. Okay, now, guys, for your revision, you can just take this same data set. Okay, so I will share this notes with you. You can take the same data set, and for revision you can try to check with weather conditions sunny and hot. Okay, you can try to just check with this particular weather condition. Okay, what is the probability of yes and no? Okay, so just for your practice, guys, you can try to do you can try to take multiple examples. Okay, but I hope till here I think the crux of naive Bayes algorithm is clear to everyone. Yeah, the fundamental, the way a naive Bayes algorithm work internally, I think this is clear to everyone. Yeah, any doubt or any confusion, guys, to anyone about the working model of like naive Bayes algorithm? Anyone having any question? Okay, great. Now, guys, finally, now come on to our like a model building part. Okay, so fine, guys. Now let's try to understand that how this particular model is actually built, and I will go like a very slowly, step by step. So if you got any doubt or any query at any place, so yeah, you'll definitely ask me. And guys, yeah, as on the very first day, I think this is something which I have told you, that if you want, you can definitely try to put this particular project in your like a GitHub. Okay, and you can also try, if you want, you can also try to share on the LinkedIn. Okay, because this like this particular project, guys, I have built it end to end. Okay, so end to end means at the end I will show you that if I try to put any like a real message into my into my application, into my like a model, so it will give me the prediction that whether this particular message is a spam or whether it's not a spam message. Okay, so now let's start understanding this model from the very top. Before going ahead, guys, just try to understand the data set. Okay, so this is how my data set looks like, guys. Okay, so this is our data set. So guys, this is how the data set is given. Okay, so you can see at the very first place, the label of the message is given. Label means whether the message is spam or ham. Okay, so on the very first place, the this particular video will get posted on the YouTube, guys. Don't worry. Okay, so you can see the label is given. This particular message is a ham message, and this is how the message is given. Okay, so go until Jurong point crazy and all. Okay, so this is how the message is given. Then then there's a second message. Again, first the label is given. After the label, the message is written. Then the third one, now it's a spam mail. It's a spam message, and you can see after the label the message has written. Okay, and you can see, guys, in this in every message, guys, you can actually try to check that in almost every message there are a lot of noise. Okay, there is a lot of noise in almost every message. Okay, so you can see T and C, terms and care. Okay, so how this entire thing is written, and you can see like in one message this is like triple X capital, then small, then capital. Okay, and then you can see like the like kind of a symbol is given, maybe some like a rupee symbol is given, then star is given. Okay, so you can see, you can actually observe and then punctuation marks are given. Okay, so you can actually observe a lot of noise into your data set, guys. If you try to look at this data set, so this data set contains a lot of noise. Okay, so definitely, guys, we first need to like perform data processing, and that's the reason, guys, that's the reason I told you that whenever you whenever you receive any actual data set, whenever you receive any real world data set, so you always get a noise into that data set. You always observe that that data set contains a noise. Okay, and you can see like all these data, all the messages, there is not a single message, maybe there's almost each and every message. In each and every message, guys, you can actually see the noise. Okay, and that's the reason text processing is very, very important. Okay, now, guys, let's try to understand so we got the data set over here, and we can see that we can observe that how the data set has been given. So first the label is given, and after the label the message is written. Okay, so we have understood the data set. Now let's come on to the notebook and let's start creating the model. Okay, now, guys, these are the initial libraries which I have imported, like NumPy, pandas. So pandas, guys, this particular library will actually help me to read the data set. Okay, so because I want to read the data set, so if I want to read the data set, so I need to import the pandas. Then you can you already know about this particular library, guys. RE stands for regular expression. So you already observe that the data set contains a noise. Okay, so in order to get rid of the noise, we need a regular expression. Okay, we need to perform text pre-processing, and for text pre-processing, we need like a regular expression. Then we have imported one more library, string. Now, guys, this particular library will also help you in text processing. Okay, so I will show you that like where we can utilize this particular library, because this particular library will also help you for a text processing. Okay, after this, guys, there are two more library, which is like a Seaborn and Matplotlib. Now, guys, these two libraries will help me to for plotting the graph. Okay, now, guys, whenever we have like these kind of a data set, so graph is always important. So graph always give me the visual picture of my data set. Okay, so we need to analyze the data, guys. We need to let's say analysis means we want to get the insights of my data. We want to understand like what are the information present into my data set. Okay. So in order to extract those information and in order to understand that those information in a visual representation, with a visual representation, we need a graph. Okay. So and for building that graph, we need these libraries. Okay. So the first one is Seaborn and the second one is Matplotlib. Okay. So I will utilize these two libraries to build the graph, to build maybe a chart. And with the help of chart, I will show you that yeah, but like what kind of insights or what kind of information present into my data set. Okay, so let's run this. Okay. And one more library, guys, I have installed over there, like warning. So like sometimes, guys, like you'll get some warning. Okay, so not an error, but warning into your notebook. Okay, because of the version. Okay, so maybe the library which you are using, it may be of older version or it may be of latest version, and your Jupyter notebook is maybe of like a older version of something. So you get some like a warning. Okay, and that warning doesn't looks good into my like a notebook. Okay, let's assume that if I want to convert this Jupyter notebook into the PDF file, so in that PDF it doesn't looks good, it doesn't look soothing. Okay, so for that I want to ignore the warning. Okay, so for that reason we have imported the warning library over here. So I hope this all the libraries are clear to everyone. So pandas for data reading, and then a Seaborn Matplotlib for building the graph, for plotting the chart, and then RE and string. This is for text pre-processing. Okay, that's it, guys. Now go ahead. Surya, Matplotlib means these two libraries, both the libraries, not only Matplotlib. Matplotlib and Seaborn, it actually helped me to plot the graph, to plot the chart. Okay, so whatever the whatever we are analyze into my data set, whatever the analysis I want to do into my data set. So for doing those analysis, I can try to build the chart. I can try to try to show those analysis in with the help of chart. Okay, so I can try to represent those analysis visually, and for that we need a chart. Okay, so for building that chart we need these libraries. Okay, so these are the two libraries which will help me to build the chart. Okay, no need Ashok actually. Okay, if there's a need of Lambda, definitely we can use it. Okay, no one will stop me or stop us. Okay? I can use it if we need it. Okay. Now, the next thing is we are reading a data set. So you can see, guys, that how we can read the data. So we have written, it is not representing anything, Sampath. Even if you ignore it, it will even if you remove it, it will not hamper anything. Okay, so it is not representing anything. It just like regular practice. Because of the regular practice, it is actually into my notebook, but it is not representing anything. Okay, just to make sure, because in sometimes in a Jupyter notebook, what happened that like some of the figure of maybe larger size, some figure of maybe a smaller size. Okay, so just to make sure that the sizes of the figure should be valid. It should not be a very large size, it should not be a very small size, just to make sure that particular thing we are using it. But even if you're not, if you're not including this particular line, it will not like give any kind of a harm. Okay. Now the next thing, guys, is like we are reading the data set, and let's see that how we are reading this particular data set. So we have written pd.read.csv. Okay, so we try to read like a CSV file, which is a comma separated value. Now, and you can see, guys, into my data set, how the data set is given. So it is actually given as into the text document. Okay, so if you can see the extension of my data set, so it is actually present in a text document. So for that reason, what we can do, we can take a separator over here. So if you press Shift tab, so you can see there's a separator parameter. So by default, the separator for CSV file is comma. Okay, but into my so since my data is present into the text format, so it is actually separated with /t. It is not separated with a comma. So I can take a separator as /t, and I want just two columns into my data set, that is label and messages. So that's the reason you can see we have actually taken just two columns over here, label and messages. Now I can run this, and we can try to check the first 5 values of my data. Okay, so if I want to check the first 5 value, means if I simply want to check the sample of my data, like how my data looks like. Okay, so for that, guys, you can try to write data.head. Okay, so if you want to check the first 5 values from the top, so you can write data.head. And if you want to check the 5 samples from the bottom, so you can write data.tell. Okay, so data.tell will show you the sample from the bottom. Okay, so it's up to you, like whether you want to check the sample from the top or bottom. Let me check, Rama Reddy, if I get that option, because maybe right now I can share it. Let me check. Yeah, I think I'm getting that option. 1 second, I will share that. If you want to, yeah, I've shared into the I've shared the data set, Rama Reddy. Guys, you can check actually. And yeah, even guys, if you want to build this particular, if you want to run this particular code along with me, so I will share the code as well. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so you can download the code and you can try to run it along with me. So at the same time, you can do the experiment and you can ask me the question, like when I try to do this, so I'm getting this error or I'm getting this or that. You can ask that particular thing. Yeah, so I have shared guys both the things, the notebook as well as the data set. Okay, guys. Now, guys, with the data.head, I can only check maybe the first 5 sample, the sample of my data, like how the data looks like. And you can observe that how this data set looks like. Okay, so we have 2 columns. The first column is a label column, where the label of my message is given, means the type of message is given. Okay, so the type of this message is a ham. The type of this message is ham. The type of this particular message is spam. Okay, so you can see the type of message is given, and in the second column the exact message is written. Okay, like free entry in 2 week. And guys, you can see like as like this particular word free comes into the picture, you can see like this is a spam message. Okay, now guys, I can check the shape of data, means how many rows are there, means how many total examples are given into my data set to train the model. Okay, so you can see like 5,572 examples are given. Okay, so we have a good amount of a data set, guys. Okay, so 5.5 thousand data, 5.5 thousand values are given. Okay, so it is a good amount of a data set to train on. Okay, now guys, we can check some initial, we can check a few initial things into my data set. Like we can first try to check the null values, like whether my data contains any missing values or not. Okay, so you can see like the data set doesn't contain any missing values. Okay, so you can see that we are not getting any missing values into my data set, 0 0. Then we can also check for the duplicate values, like if my data set contains any duplicate values. So duplicate value simply means, guys, that the same message is actually repeated. Okay, so let's check whether we are getting some duplicate values. So yes, we are having 403 duplicate values. Okay, so out of 5.5 thousand mails, out of 5.5 thousand messages, 403 messages are duplicate. Okay, so what we can do, because guys, duplicate value can lead to overfitting. Okay, it can it may not help. It may like give me any kind. Maybe I'm not able to get an accurate result because of this duplicate values. Okay, because the same message is repeated. Okay, duplicate simply means that the same message is repeated. Okay, so what we can do, we can try to drop the duplicate value. So from the shape, once again, so guys, Devi Kartikeya, shape actually tells me like how many number of rows we are having and how many number of columns are there. Okay, so how many number of rows and columns are there into my data set. Okay, so into my data set there are 5.5 thousand rows. Okay, in total 5,572 rows. Means rows means 5,572 messages are there into my data set. Okay, so we have a good amount of a data. And two columns. So two columns means we have just two columns. One is label column, another one is message column. And we actually need only two columns. We don't need even move columns as well. Okay. After this, we are checking for the null values. Null values means missing values. Means is there any like a row where no message is written? Okay, means there's a blank space. Okay, so that is what we are checking. Okay, so maybe it might be a possibility. Okay, so it is possible, guys. In some cases, it might be a possible that you'll get some blank like a blank places over here. You'll get some blank space over here. Okay, so that is what lead to the missing values. That leads to the null values. But in my data set, there is no such missing values. So it's a good data set. We don't have any missing values. We don't have any null values. Then we can also check for the duplicate values. So how many duplicate values are there means how much messages are actually repeated into my data set. So you can see like we are getting 403 repeated message. We are getting 403 duplicate values. Okay. So what we can do, we can try to drop the duplicate values. Okay. So we can try to drop the duplicate values. And after dropping the duplicate values, again, if I try to check the duplicate values, so now we are not getting any duplicate values. Okay, because we have dropped that 403 duplicate values. Okay, now let me check the queries. Can we use a query also Python query for down and columns or particular shape? Samriddhi, you can try to check. Yeah, like I never used like a query like Python query for down and column and all. Okay. So I think I find this shape is like just a single like a value which I can use and I can utilize it every time. Okay. So I never used like whatever you are saying. I never used that. I simply use shape just to get the rows and column of the data set. Okay. So I think we don't need to make it complex. Okay. Fine. Sir, how to download the code? Guys, I can only upload it from here. I think you'll get the download option and you can download it from there. Okay, and I will not upload it again and again, guys, because it definitely takes a time. It is 4 MB of code. So I will just upload it one more time. But after this, you should be into the session. Okay. So it will not open in a Zoom. I think you have to download it and then you can try to run it into your Jupyter notebook. No, I have uploaded it in a Zoom meeting itself. Harsha, now you can check in a Zoom meeting itself. I have uploaded it. Day 3, the same notebook. Okay. And guys, if you're getting any like a problem, any kind of a issue in downloading the code, or let's say like you're not able to download it right now from the Zoom, because right now we just have one option that I can try to upload it in a Zoom. Okay, so if you're not able to do it right now, so you just simply go through the like a code. You can simply try to go through the like a code. You can try to like check like what I'm doing. Okay, I think yeah, it is working. Yeah, I know it's a working code. I have given you the working code. So but yeah, in like for any reason, if you're not able to download it right now, so you can simply try to focus into the class and you can try to understand like what are all the things written in like in a code. I will put it, guys, but I will put it after the session. Okay, don't worry. I have shown you my GitHub account. I will put it into, you will get it into my like GitHub account also, and you'll get it into the documentation also, session also. Okay, you'll get this entire material, this entire notebook at both the place. Fine, let's go ahead. So I think we have understood the possibilities of null values. So there's no possibility of null value, and we got 403 duplicate values, which we simply remove. Okay, which we simply dropped. Fine. I think till here there will be no doubt. Yeah, because till here we have simply done two things with my data set. The first thing, we check the null values, and the second thing, we check the duplicate values. Since we got some duplicate values, so we simply drop that duplicate values with the function called drop duplicates. That's it. Now, guys, come on to the the first part, the first like a thing that is the first step. of like my for building my application, and that is exploratory data analysis. Okay, so now guys, over here guys, we are going to create a chart. We have, I told, as I already told you, that we are going to create a chart. We are going to create like a graph, and with the help of graph, we are going to analyze the data set. Means we are going to check like what are the information, what are the insights present into my data set. Okay, so for that guys, the very first thing which we can check, we can try to plot the pie chart to check the percentage distribution of target variable. Now, what is the meaning of percentage distribution of target variable? Now guys, when I say target variable, it means I'm actually talking about the labels. Okay, so guys, I want to check that how many messages. Okay, so there are 5,572 messages. Although after removing the duplicate values, maybe I have 5,100 messages. Okay, so I can try to check the shape. So you can see 5,169 messages left. Okay, because I have dropped the 403 messages. Now guys, out of this 5,169 messages, we definitely need to check that how many messages are actually spam and how many messages are not spam. Okay, so we need to check this distribution, like what percentage of like a messages, means what proportion of the messages are spam and what proportion of the messages are not spam. So we need to check the ratio over here, guys. Okay, so for checking that ratio, we can try to plot the pie chart. Okay, so first we can try to check this information with the help of a function called value count. So value count will tell me that how many messages are actually spam and how many messages are ham. So you can see that out of 5,169, 4,516 messages are ham and 653 messages are spam. Okay, this is what we are getting like with the help of the function called value counts. Okay, so it is actually giving me the count of both the type of messages. Okay, so these are nothing but a type of messages. Okay, so ham and spam. Now after this, guys, what Vinay, what you're asking, like what how to find it, which thing, how I can find it? So the label count, we are actually able to find it with the help of the function called value count. Okay, this function actually helps me to count the messages which are, yeah, that's so we have this particular column, no, where label column, where we have the where we have some, where it is written that some messages are ham and some messages are spam. Okay, so it is written already. Okay, so we are simply take the count of it, like we are simply take the count that how many messages are spam and how many messages are ham. Okay, so we are simply take a count of it, and for counting it, because we cannot definitely count it manually because there are 5,000 messages. So for counting it, we are using this particular function called value count. Okay, so this particular function will count that how many messages are spam and how many messages are ham. Okay. Now, guys, if I want to, so this is we are getting this information in a tabular form. Now, if I want to plot it, if I want to get the percentage distribution, okay, so I can try to plot it by using a pie chart. So for that, guys, we can use again PLT. So PLT, guys, is nothing but it's a matplotlib. Okay, because I don't want to write everywhere. I don't want to write matplotlib. Okay, so that's the reason we have created an alias of it. Okay, alias means short name for a matplotlib. So the short name for matplotlib is PLT. Okay, so plt.py. Okay, pie chart, because we want to create a pie chart. And into this pie chart, I want to actually represent this thing. Okay, the value count for a label, and we have two labels, ham and spam. Okay, and I want to show both of these labels with a different color. So I want to show this ham messages with a green color. Okay, because it's the valid messages, and I want to show the spam messages with a red color because it's the invalid messages. Now if I run this again. And guys, this 9/5 is nothing but my figure size. Okay, means it actually controls the width and height of the image. Okay, so 9 is nothing but width of the image and 5 is the height of the image. So now you can see that the percentage distribution. Now, guys, you can observe that 87% messages are actually ham. Okay, which actually you can understand even with this particular value also, because most of the messages are actually ham, means most of the messages are valid, and only 12% messages are 12.6% messages are spam. Okay, so in my entire data set, only 12.6% messages are spam, whereas 87.3% messages are ham. Okay, so guys, this is actually a quite imbalanced data set, because we have more example. Okay, so into my data set, there's a more example for valid messages, and we have a less example for invalid messages. Okay, so I can say that we can observe that. So we can actually, guys, we can actually write down our observation over here. Okay, so we can try to plot multiple charts, and from every chart, whatever the insights we are getting, whatever the observation we are getting, we can write down that observation every time, like in this way. Okay, so we observe that the data set is quite imbalanced, because 87.37% messages are like a ham. Okay, sorry, this should be like a ham over here, whereas 12.363% messages are like a spam. 12.63 messages are percent messages are spam. Okay, so this is what, guys, we are able to observe from this particular pie chart. Okay, and for creating a pie chart, we have used a matplotlib, we have used this PLG, and we simply put the like a distribution, means the value count. So value count we are getting with the help of this function called value count. Then we have given the label, and then we have given the colors. Okay, that's it, guys. Okay, so you can see we are getting a good observation over here, that 87% messages are ham, whereas 12.6% messages are spam. Okay, which is a non-valid messages. Now, guys, we can try to find out few more characteristics of of maybe a ham and spam messages. Okay, so we can try to find out a few more characteristics. So characteristics means, guys, the properties. Okay, so it is very important to understand, let's say, the properties of the spam messages, because definitely, guys, let's say if there are two classes. Okay, so I am a different kind of a human being, and you are a different kind of a human being. So definitely, guys, there are like a few properties in me which differentiate like me from you, and definitely there are there may be some unique properties in you which differentiate you from like myself. Okay, so in similar way, guys, if I talking about like a spam or ham messages, and if I want to analyze my data, so definitely, guys, spam messages is actually having some unique properties. They are actually having some different characteristics, and my ham messages, means my valid messages, they are having some different characteristics. Okay, so both the characteristics of both the messages for both kind of a messages are not same. Definitely, the characteristics for the ham messages and the spam messages will be totally different. Okay, so right now, guys, we only observe that into my data set, how many what percentage of data, what percentage of messages are actually spam, and what percentage of messages are actually ham. This is the only thing we have actually observed till now. Now, guys, it's time to observe the characteristics of my data. Okay, in order to get the characteristics of my data, in order to get the characteristics of or properties of ham and spam messages, what we can do, we can try to find out how many total number of characters are present. Like, let's say if I try to take the first message. Okay, if I try to take the very first message, so I can try to count that how many total characters are there. So when I say character, guys, so in this particular word go, there are two characters, G and O. So I can try to count the total number of characters in each messages. I can try to count total number of words into each messages, and I can try to count the total number of sentences in each data, in each messages. And after doing this, guys, I can try to check, maybe it might be a possibility, guys, because it's whenever you are receiving any like a spam message. Okay, so let me try to open my like a mailbox. So whenever I receive any a valid mail. Okay, so whenever I receive any like a valid mail, so or let's say, guys, whenever you try to send like some message to someone or some mail to someone. Okay, so if it is a valid mail, so definitely, guys, it contains maybe a very few words and very few characters. And whenever I want and whenever I receive any like a spam message, whenever I receive any like a spam messages, so definitely it contains so many like a word, so many characters into that. Okay, so I don't know like why we're getting this particular spam message, like Axis Bank. Okay, so we are getting so many characters over here. Okay, so in a spam messages. Okay, so deal of the day and all. Okay, so you're getting like so many characters, so many words are there. Okay, now guys, we can try to observe the same thing into our data set. Okay, so what we can do, we can try to count the total number of characters. Okay, so you can see like we are actually counting the length of the characters. Guys, I told you like the platform like where you can run this. Okay, so Harsha, if you want to run this, I don't know about IDLE. Okay, so you can run it on a VS Code, you can run it on a PyCharm, and you can run it on a Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so these three ID which I know where you can run it, and you can also run it on a Google Collaboratory. That is the simplest like a place where you can try to run it. So these are the four places where I know where you can run it. Apart from this, I don't know like any other like a platform where you can run it. Okay, if it run, it's good, well and good, but I don't know about other platforms. Okay. Now, guys, what I can do, I can try to count that like total number of characters in each messages, total number of words in each messages, and total number of sentences in each messages. And guys, you should know that why we are doing it. So we are doing it just to understand the characteristics and properties of spam and ham messages. Okay. Now, guys, let's try to count. Okay, so guys, length is a function. Okay, so you all know that length is a function through which we can count the total number of characters, so or total number of words. Okay, so in the first place, I'm counting the total number of characters. Okay, so how many characters each like the messages contain. We don't have that time, and even I am not like into my this system because I have one more system. So in this system, I don't have VS Code. Okay, if you want, I can try to put the same code onto the drive, and I can try to show you that how you can run it on a collab notebook. Okay, because it is that's an online process. It's very simple. Okay, but I cannot show onto the VS Code because in this system, in this system, my VS Code is actually in my like a company system. Okay, so I cannot run it in the system right now. Yeah, onto the collab, I will show you. That's fine. So yeah, but for a timing gauge, just try to check like this is how we are calculating the number of characters. Okay, so we are simply counting the length. We are simply calculating the length of like a characters, and we are getting the number of characters. The number of characters each of these messages contain. Okay, after this, guys, what we are doing, we are calculating the word. Now, guys, for calculating the word, if you want to calculate the number of words, like the first message, how many words this particular first message contain. Now, guys, for this, you need to create the tokens. Okay, so I told you, I think in the very first session of regular expression, we discussed like what is a token. Okay, so token means nothing but tokenization means nothing but where we try to break down our sentence and try to represent each letter as a separate like a word, as a separate entity. So we can try to create the token, and guys, for creating the token, we can import like a module called word tokenize. Okay, and I can try to create the tokens, and then I can try to count that how many words are present into like each and every message. Okay, so you can see like with this particular like a code, we are actually creating the tokens over here. Okay, so we are creating the tokens. You can see this is the first token. So first token means this is the first word. So I can now count it as 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what I actually want to count. Okay, now when I apply it, so now you can see like we are getting the words over here. Okay, so we are getting the number of words. So so let me take the first 5 sample only, not anything else. Okay, so now you can see the first like a message. It contain 111 characters. Okay, so character means we are counting each and every character, G, O, space and all. Then how many total words this particular message contain? This contain 24 like words. Okay, this contain 24 like words. Okay, so yeah, that's what I told you. Who is writing some part? Yeah, you can use. I told you like lambda. Lambda is nothing but anonymous function. So where we can utilize it, we can utilize it. No one is going to stop us. Okay. So fine, because we are using this function. Now we are using this particular word tokenized function in order to create the tokens. Okay. Now, so we have counted the number of characters, which this particular message contain, which each of these messages are contain, and then we have counted number of words. After this, guys, we can also try to find the total number of sentences. Okay, because it is possible that every message contain maybe more than one sentence. It is definitely maybe there are more messages which contain only one sentence, but there can be there can be like there can be any number of messages which contain more than one sentence. Okay, so I want to count that total number of sentences as well. Okay, so even guys, again, for counting the number of sentences, I can use the same function send tokenize. Okay, so you can see guys, earlier we have used the model called word tokenize, and guys, all these model actually coming from NLTK itself. Okay, so I think we already understood that NLTK is nothing but it is a library, natural language toolkit. Okay, so from NLTK.tokenize, first we have imported word tokenize, and then after that, for tokenizing the word, for tokenizing for word tokenization, we have imported word tokenize, and for tokenizing like a sentences, we have imported sent tokenize. Okay, now guys, if I run this, now you can see we are getting the number of sentences over here. So you can see the first message contained two sentences, the second message again contained two sentences, the third message again it contains two sentences, the fourth message again it contains like one message, one sentence, and so on. Okay, so guys, you can see like earlier we just have two features, two columns. Now we have created three more columns. And in these columns, what we have calculated the number of characters, we have calculated the number of words, and we have calculated the number of sentences. Okay, means how many characters this messages contain. Okay, so the first message contain 111 characters. The second message contain 29 characters. The third message contain 155 characters, and so on. Similarly, the first message contain 24 words, 8 words, 37 words, and so on. Okay, and then number of sentences. Okay, is it clear guys till here? Okay, now guys, I can try to check now if I want to understand the characteristics, so I can check the number of characters. I can try to check the number of characters and number of words and number of sentences for ham messages, and exactly the same thing guys, I can try to calculate for the spam messages. Now guys, let's try to understand it over here. Okay, because now over here you are able to get a very good observation about you are able to understand one very important characteristics of ham messages as well as for the spam messages. Okay, so let me check if I can annotate over here something. Okay, I think we are not getting the option for annotation. Okay, fine. Okay, fine, no issue. But yeah, just try to focus over here, guys. So you can see, in case of ham messages, you can see that how many total characters you can see like what is the average number of characters we are having. Average means like let's assume guys, if you got after the examination, okay, after the examination when you come to home, or like in our childhood, whenever you come to home, so parents are actually likely to ask about like what is the percentage we got, whatever the percentage we got in a final examination. Even today is like in your college when the examination is done, so you try to calculate the percentage. Okay, so you simply try to calculate the average. So let's assume that in every subject, if you got like around like a 90 marks, okay, so out of 100 if you got 90 marks, so your overall average will be maybe 90. Okay, your so in maybe let's assume that there are 5 subjects. In 2 subjects if you got 85, in 2 subjects if you got 95, and in 1 subject if you got 90, so your overall average will be 90. So what you simply do in order to get the average, so you simply take the sum of all the numbers and divide it by total number of samples. Okay, that is what we can say the average. Okay, now guys, on an average, the ham messages contain 70 characters or 71 characters, 70.9. On an average, it contains 17.2 words, means 17 words. And on an average, it contains 1.8 sentences, means 2 sentences, you can say. Okay, so you can try to focus on number of characters and number of words. So on an average, guys, on an average, the ham messages contain 71 characters and 17 words, respectively. Now, guys, if I try to check the same thing for the spam messages, so now let's see, on an average, the number of character for spam messages, it is 137. Okay, which is actually very high in comparison to in comparison to the ham messages. Okay, so you can see, guys, this is what we can observe. So 137 is the number of characters on an average, 137. So many words, like most of the words, most of the messages into which is a part of the spam messages, most of the messages which is a part of the spam messages contain 137 characters. Similarly, guys, if you try to compare in between the words, so on an average it contains 17 words, and on an average it contains 27 words, 27.7, which we can say 28. And if I try to talk about the number of sentences, so on an average it contains 1.8 sentence, and on an average spam messages contain 2.9 sentence. Okay. Now, guys, what is overall observation? So overall observation, guys, is nothing but we can clearly observe, or we can clearly see that the spam messages are quite longer in comparison to the ham messages. Okay, means if you're if we receive any spam message, so it will be quite longer. Okay, so the material or the part of that message, it will be quite longer. Okay, so it contain more lines, it contain more lines, it contain more words, it contain more character, because you can see, like, on an average spam messages contain more characters and more words and more sentences in comparison to the ham message. Okay, now, guys, this is how you are able to understand the characteristics of like a different classes. Okay, so now, guys, you are able to understand one very important characteristics of like a spam messages and a ham messages. Okay, so this is a very important property of a spam message. Okay, so if any new mail or if any new message comes into the picture, and it is if it is larger in size, so maybe I can assume, that okay, this might be a spam message. Okay, is it clear, guys? Yeah, the characteristics, the different characteristics of spam and ham messages are clear to everyone? Yeah, guys, good. So far, so good. Yeah. Great, guys. Okay, great. So I hope till now everyone are enjoying the session. Everyone are understanding the things, like what's going on. Yeah. Great, guys. Now, the next thing is we can try to even plot it. Okay, so whatever the things we observed over here, I can try to plot it. So you can see, like, we are trying to plot it for characters, for words. And when you're plotting it for character, guys, so you can see, like, ham messages are indicating with the green color. So you can see the number of characters are less. Okay, you can see the number of maximum, the maximum ham messages are actually having the number of characters maybe between 0 to 100 or 0 to 150. But for spam messages, the number of characters are actually higher. Okay, so the number of characters are actually higher. Okay. For reading the file, I don't know about any other package for reading the file. Okay, so for reading the file, I think we all can use pandas. Okay, there is no other package. Fine, guys. So I hope you understood the characteristics of ham and spam messages. Now, guys, let's try to understand another characteristic. Okay, so let's try to understand one more characteristic. Okay, guys, because whenever we try to do the exploratory data analysis, so the meaning of exploratory data analysis is it simply means that we try to analyze our data end to end. We try to interpret. We try to get the maximum insight from my data set. We try to get the maximum information from my data set, and that is what we have done so far, guys. So you can see like the first observation, we are getting the first observation over here, where we observe that maximum mails are maximum messages means 87% messages are ham, 12% messages are spam. This is the first thing we observe. After this, we observe the second thing, that the spam messages contain more number of characters, more number of words in comparison to the ham messages. Now, guys, let's try to observe the third thing. Okay, the third point. Okay, now what is the third point, guys, which we can try to observe? So we can try to observe that in which is the most frequent word. Means frequent means what, guys? The word which occur again and again. Okay, the word which occur for a maximum number of time. Okay, so we can try to check that in case of a spam messages, in case of the spam message, because we are actually looking more for a spam messages. Okay, so I can try to check that in case of a spam messages, which word is occurring more frequently, which word is occurring like maybe again and again. And the same thing we can try to check for a ham messages. Okay, so for both for both the messages, guys, for both kind of a messages, I can try to check that which word is occurring more frequently in case of the ham messages, and which word is occurring more frequently in case of the spam messages. Okay, so for both the category, guys, I can try to check this thing. Okay, now, guys, in order to check the most frequent word, we can try to plot something called as a word cloud. Okay, so we can try to plot something called as a word cloud. Now, guys, in word cloud, you will actually observe the word which occur more frequently. You are able to see that that word is actually having a higher display. Okay, and the word which occur less frequently, it is actually you can observe that word is it is actually present in a very small size. Okay, now, guys, so first I try to plot the word cloud for the ham messages. Now let's see that how the word cloud for ham messages looks like. So, guys, now you can see this is the word cloud for the ham message, and you can observe this, and you can see, guys, that which word is occurring more frequently in this category. Okay, so I think we are getting the word like will, now, no, call, want. So these are the frequent words in the ham messages: love, see, don't, go, one day. Okay, so you can see, guys, that we are getting only the valid word. Okay, so you can't see any particular word which you think that okay, it might be a part of a spam message. Okay, so you're getting just a general words over here. And mostly, guys, the word which where the display is higher, where the size is higher, you can see all those messages are all those words are very general. Okay, which we generally use at the time of writing any genuine mail. Okay, so at the time of writing any genuine mail, we are using these words like okay, will, now, want, need, and all. Okay, and the two words which occur most frequently, it is nothing but will and now. Okay, these are the most frequent word. After that, we can also say like a need, want, call, okay, you. Okay, but yeah, the most frequent word is will and now. Now, guys, if I try to check the same thing for the spam messages, now let's see that which word is highlighting more over here. And, guys, you can see the word free. Okay, so this particular word is the most occurring word into the spam messages. Free. Okay, after this free, guys, you can see call, now, offer, stop, mobile, chat, text. So you can see price, guaranteed. Okay, you can see, guys, over here you can see the word like price, guaranteed. Okay, so and own. Okay, so definitely the message contain like the word you own this particular price, you own this particular price, money, and all. Okay, so these are nothing but all these words are actually a part of the spam message. And the one word, guys, which occur most frequently, means which occur in a which is actually a part of almost every spam message, is nothing but free. Okay, you can see free is the most frequent word occurring in my spam messages. Okay, and definitely, guys, you can observe like there are many words which you can observe over here, which you can even in a general scenario you can understand that these are the word which is a part of the spam message, like price, guaranteed, price, please call now. Okay. Then mobile text, okay, tone, offer, all these are nothing but part of the spam messages. Okay, fine guys, is it clear to everyone? So in this way guys, whenever we are doing the exploratory data analysis, whenever we are doing EDA, so in that case guys, we are trying to we are trying to extract the information from my data. We are able to understand the characteristics of both the type of messages. We are able to understand the characteristics of spam messages as well as ham messages. Okay, that's the reason guys, EDA is a most vital part, or is one of the most important step for building any any application, any AI application. Okay, is it clear guys? Yeah. Yeah guys, the word cloud thing is clear to everyone. Now guys, after doing this, okay, let me even check into the YouTube if there is any like a query or question. Yeah, sure guys, I can share that link. I can share that link with you. Okay. Okay, great guys, great. Now let's come on to the second step, that is data pre-processing. Okay, so now over here, I already shown you guys. Okay, so I think you all observed that the data set. Okay, so if I try to show you again, so you all know that our data set contain like a lot of noise. Okay, so I can try to take any like a value, and you can see, yeah, this data set contain a lot of noise, guys. Yes, this data set contain a lot of noise. Okay. Now guys, if I want to, and you can see, even just take this particular like example. Okay, so even this example contain a lot of noise. Okay, so what I can do guys, I can try to store this example maybe somewhere, maybe into the u. Okay, so I can write I can try to store this particular example into one variable, and after every step I can try to run this particular variable, and I can try to check that like if that particular noise get removed or not. Okay, because I want to remove the noise, so I can try to check after like every like example, whether any that particular noise get removed or not. Okay, so now guys, fine, and I can try to take maybe one more example. It's maybe something which we need even later on. Yeah, so you can see like yeah, both the data contain like a lot of noise. Now guys, I can try to start removing the noise one by one. Now guys, the very first thing, the very first step of data pre-processing, I can try to remove all the punctuation. Okay, because punctuation is something which will definitely not going to tell me whether any particular message is a spam or whether it's a not a spam. Okay, so punctuation is definitely not going to tell me at any point of a time whether any particular message is a spam or non-spam. Okay, so what I can do first, I can try to remove the punctuation. Now guys, for removing the punctuation, we are using the function called str. Okay, we are using this particular like a module called str. And if you remember guys, earlier I have already imported string library. Okay, so by using that particular string library, I can try to remove the punctuation. And wherever there's a punctuation, I can try to replace that punctuation with the without anything. Okay, so I'm not putting anything over there. Means I'm not putting the space. Okay, because the space will take that extra character, so I'm not putting even the space over there. I'm just leaving it as it is. Okay, so guys, this is a code. This is a code if you want to remove the punctuation from your data set at any point of a time. Even you can also try to use regular expression, okay, because I think if you remember, we also discussed about the regular expression. So we can also try to use regular expression to remove the punctuation. But I just want to tell you one more one more way to remove the punctuation. Okay. So now if I run this code and if I apply it on my messages, so you can see with this particular line, I'm applying it on my messages. Now guys, after doing this, if I try to run this particular u, if I try to run a u over here, so u is a variable where I store one message. Now guys, you can see like in this message, from this message, we are able to let's say remove some punctuations, but still it have the punctuation. So I think okay, okay, fine guys, so we have actually stored it into the variable. Okay, so that's why it is showing me that we are not able to remove it. Okay, so just do one thing, just try to run this data of message again. Okay, now you can see the punctuation is not there. Okay, so you can see earlier this data contain like a punctuation. Okay, like question mark is there, then exclamation mark is there. Now you can see there is no question mark and there is no punctuation mark. Okay, and you can observe the same thing with maybe any other data like this one. Okay, so this data also contain like the exclamation mark, but now in this case, now after removing the punctuation, we're not getting any exclamation mark. Okay. So fine, guys. So more Surya Chandra. So anytime if you got this particular error, module not found, it means this particular module is not. You have not installed this particular module. Okay. So for that, what you can do, you can try to first install this particular module. So you can write pip install word cloud. Simple, and it will be installed. Okay, and once it gets installed into your system, you can try to run it again. Okay, Surya Chandra. So if anytime, not only with this particular module, with any module, if you got this error that no module found or no module named this or that, you can simply try to install that particular module by using pip install and that module name. Okay, I hope guys this is clear. Okay, so we are able to remove the punctuation by using this particular function called string. Second thing, guys, the second step, I can try to remove all the special characters. Now guys, you can see like all the special character and all kind of a noise. Now you can see guys, if you take any message, so the first message, now this contain so many noise, so many special character, like you can see we are having numerical values over here like 3, and we are having a special character over here like this particular symbol. Okay, and we are having some multiple numerical values over here like KL 341 12 and some numbers. Okay, now guys, if I want to remove all these special characters, if I want to remove all these numbers, so what I can do, I can try to use a regular expression. So you all know this particular expression, guys. I think I have already shown you the example of this particular expression. So this particular function re.sub, what this sub function will do? So sub function is nothing but it is a substitute function. It means wherever I got anything apart from the alphabet, if I got anything except alphabet, just try to remove it, just try to replace it with a space. Okay, so over here, guys, you can see I have given the space. Now when I run this and when I apply it on my messages, so what will happen? Again, the same thing, guys, will happen. So now if you try to run this message, you are not able to get any like a numerical value, any special character. Okay, so you can see all the special character, all the numerical values will get removed. Okay, so from this particular data set. After this, guys, the third step is removing the stop words. Now guys, the first try to understand what is the stop words. Now guys, stop words are nothing but the word which we are using just to complete the sentence. Like if I want to give the review to any restaurant, so I can say that okay, food is good or food is delicious. Now guys, over here the word delicious is important, the word is not important. Okay, so the word is over here is nothing but it's a stop word. Okay, so guys, over here I use the term is just to complete the sentence. Okay, similarly guys, if I want to say, if I want to give any other review, like the food is good and delicious. Okay, now over here guys, the word the is and the is and, all these three words are nothing but these words we are using as a conjunction. We are using it just to complete the sentence. Okay, we are using these words, we are using these terms just to complete the sentence. Okay, they are not giving any kind of a, they doesn't contain any kind of information, they doesn't giving any kind they doesn't help me for making any kind of a prediction. Okay, so but these words are present over there just to complete the sentence. Okay, so this is what we call the stop words, guys. So the words which occur again and again into my data set, but it is not having any importance. We are using this these kind of a word just to complete the sentence. Okay, so that is what we call the stop words, guys. Okay, so I can try to remove the stop words, because if there is a stop word, so definitely the length of my vector, the length of my matrix will get larger. Okay, because guys, when you try to use TF-IDF or bag of word, so you know that the size of the matrix is actually depend upon the number of vocabularies. Okay, and these are also a part of the vocabulary. Okay, so is the all these are nothing but a part of vocabulary. Okay, so unnecessarily the size of my matrix will get larger, will get like a higher. Okay, and I don't want I don't want that, because if the size of the matrix will get larger, then definitely guys the training time will increase. Okay, so the model will take more time to train. Okay, so if I don't want that, so I can try to remove the stop words. Okay, so the very first thing, guys, first I can try to download the stop words from NLTK. So I can again try to download the stop words from NLTK. And after downloading it, guys, I can also show you that what are the stop words. So you can see these are all the stop words. And if you try to check that how many stop words are there, so you can try to check the length of it. So you can check like how many stop words into the English dictionary. So there are 179 stop words. Okay, so now I have stored all the stop words, all these 179 stop words into like a variable called SW. Now guys, I can try to give the run this particular code. Now guys, this is nothing but we are running this is nothing but a list comprehension, and let's see that what we have written over here. So at the very first place, guys, we are converting our our word into the lowercase. Okay, guys, because yesterday also we discussed that we either need to convert the entire data into the uppercase or lowercase, because if my data is present like in both the ways, so there will be a problem, because then if I want to create the vector, so there can be a separate vector for the same word. Okay, and I don't want that. Okay, so first we are converting our data into the lowercase, and after converting it into the lowercase, and we are writing this code that I want only those words which is not a part of a stop word. Okay, so you can see like over here I have written not in stop word. Okay, so we want only those words which is not in a stop word. Okay, now guys, where there's a space, we are trying to join it so that it looks good. Now guys, again, if I can show you the like a message. Okay, now this time when I show you the message, any like a single message, now you can see guys, this looks much better. Okay, secondly guys, earlier this winner is into the uppercase, now it comes into the lowercase. And you can maybe check guys if there is any stop word, like A is a stop word, so now there is no A, and even S is also a stop word, so now there is no S. And maybe 2 is also a stop word, so you're not able to find the 2. Okay, so now guys, now guys, you can see like you can try to simply match this with the earlier earlier sentence. Okay, so you can try to match this with the initial sentence. Okay, so this is how my data set looks like initially. Okay, now guys, you can see like after doing a lot of pre-processing, after doing multiple pre-processing, this is how my data set looks like. Okay, now guys, this is particular data set which is much better, and I can easily fit it into my like algorithm. Okay, I can easily create the vectors out of it. Okay, so this is what guys we want to achieve. Okay, so you can see guys, earlier like initially the data set contained a lot of noise. Okay, the data set contained a lot of noise, and even it doesn't looks good. Even no one is able to find it out whether it's maybe my model is my model will find very hard to understand the sentiment of this particular like a statement, okay, of this particular message. But now my model can easily understand the sentiment of this particular message. Okay, so yeah, guys, you can see like just after applying 2-3 steps, how beautifully you transform your message. Okay, now this is the transform message. Okay, so fine, guys. That's it. We have done the pre-processing. Now we can do one more thing. I can try to convert the word into the root form, and for that we can try to use the lemmatization. And for doing the lemmatization, guys, we can again use the same code which we have used yesterday. So first we can try to import the word net lemmatizer from the NLTK. Okay. After importing it, we can try to create the instance of lemmatizer. We can try to create the instance of word let lemmatizer, and then we can try to lemmatize the word. Okay. So yeah, guys, when you applied it, so wherever it is possible, okay, because you know, guys, the lemmatization will never try to lemmatization is will never try to give you any invalid word. Okay, so it definitely tries to convert the word into their root form, but it will never give you any invalid word. Okay, so wherever there's a possibility. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that wherever there's a possibility to convert to convert the word into their root form, it will definitely convert the word into the root form. Okay, so that's what a lemmatizer will do. So fine, guys, these are all the pre-processing steps which we have taken in order to transform my data in such a condition so that I can easily form a vectors on it, and I can easily fit that particular data to my machine learning algorithm. Okay. Now, guys, please tell me now, is it clear to everyone till here? Any doubt with any of these steps? Any of these any doubt, any part of the code which you are not able to understand? Please tell me, guys. Everyone, let me check even into the YouTube. Okay, great, Sampath. Yeah, some more guys. Yeah, I want few more years into the chat box. If you're enjoying the session, if you're understanding the things. Anantu Krishnan, word cloud will tell us, will actually help me to understand which word is occur more frequently into my data set. Okay, so if I want to see that which are all the words which occur more frequently into my data set, which is more frequently a part of the spam messages and ham messages, so I can use the word cloud over there. Okay, so word cloud will actually give me that representation. Okay. Now, guys, one more thing. So you can see like we have now this is not actually part of like this particular bootcamp or Sampark. Okay, so yeah, imbalanced data set is a problem, but it will not give you the problem. It will not be a problem at least in this data set. Okay, so you'll not get like a inaccurate result at least with this data set. Okay, and how to overcome with the imbalance problem, that maybe we can try to understand in any other bootcamp. Okay, because how to balance the imbalance data, that is not like a part of this bootcamp, particularly for this bootcamp. Okay, Sampath, and it will not give me any kind of a harm for this particular model, because we already transform the data in such a way that you are able to get an accurate result. Okay, your model will produce a good accuracy. Okay. Fine, guys. Now you can see. So this is my final data set. Okay, this is our final data set, which is where you're not able to get any where you're not able to receive see any kind of a noise. Okay, if you try to just put any if you try to just extract any message, and if you try to check that message, so you're not able to get any noise into that message. Okay. Okay, but one thing, guys, you can see that in your label column, it is still written as ham and spam. Okay, now, guys, I told you that my model cannot accept a categorical value. It cannot accept like a text value. It cannot accept a word value. Okay, so it can only accept numerical value. So for that reason, guys, what I need to do is I need to convert this label also into the vector form, into the numerical form. Okay, so what I can do, I can try to use something called as a label encoder. And what this label encoder will do, it will simply give, okay, so if I try to perform label encoder dot fetch transform, so what this particular function will do, so this particular function will convert these values into 0 and 1. Okay, so one category will become 0 and another category will become 1. Okay, now in this case, guys, the ham category will become 0 and the spam category will become 1. Okay, so fine, guys, these are all the things we have done. And now, guys, you know that these 3 columns we have created just to understand the characteristics of my like a category, just to understand the characteristics of spam and ham messages. Now we no longer we need these columns. Okay, now we don't need this column for making a prediction. Okay, these columns we need just to understand the characteristics of my like a ham and spam messages. So what I can do, I can try to select only the relevant column, only the column which I need to build the model. Okay, so now I will select only the 2 columns, the label column and the messages column. Okay, fine, guys, so that's it till here. We have done the pre-processing. All the pre-processing steps is now completed. Now the next thing, guys, we want to do the feature extraction. Okay, so yesterday itself I told you that my machine learning algorithm cannot understand a word data. It cannot understand this particular data, means the text data. It can only understand the numerical value. So what I need to do is now I need to convert this text value into the numerical value. And for doing that, guys, what we'll do, we'll try to import TF-IDF. Okay, so yesterday itself, guys, we discussed about bag of word and TF-IDF. And we also discussed that between bag of word and TF-IDF, TF-IDF is much better. Okay, so that's why, guys, I'm directly trying to use TF-IDF over here. If you want to do the experiment, you can also try to use bag of word and you can try to compare. Okay, but I try to import TF-IDF directly over here. Okay, and then I have created the instance of TF-IDF. After this, guys, just like we have done yesterday, I try to fit transform my data, because you don't need to do you don't need to transform this label, because label is already 1 and 0. Okay, so I only need to transform the message data. So we simply transform the message data, and we have created the array of it. You can see this is how the array of message data looks like. After this, guys, now my data is ready. Okay, my data is completely ready. Okay, so you can see, guys, now this x, guys, this x is nothing but my features, and y we have this is nothing but a label. Okay, so you can see, guys, everywhere now they're just a values. Okay, they're just a numerical values. Nowhere we are having any like a text values. Okay, so so because guys, we store this label column into the y variable, and we store the message column into the x variable. Okay, and now you can see that x also contain a numerical value. Okay, so the x variable also contain a numerical value, or it also contain a matrix, and y variable also contain only the numerical value. Okay, none of the column contain a text value, or none of the column contain any word value. Okay, now, guys, my data is completely ready. I can now fit this particular data to the machine learning algorithm. Now, guys, to fit this particular data to machine learning algorithm, what we can do, we can first try to split the data into 2 sets, train set and the test set. Okay, so we can try to split the data into 2 sets, train and test set. Okay, why? Because, guys, I can try to take maybe one proportion of data to train the model. Okay, to for a training to train my machine learning algorithm, and I need to preserve maybe some proportion of the data to evaluate the model, to check whether whatever the model we have built it, whether this model is good or bad, whether this model is giving me the good result or not. Okay, so in order to check that, we need to split the data into 2 sets, training set and a test set. Okay, so training set is the one where we are going to build the model, through which by using which we are going to build the model, we are going to train our machine learning algorithm. And there's a separate test set which is completely unseen, which is completely unseen data, which is a set of unseen data which I will utilize later on to evaluate our machine learning algorithm. So whatever the machine learning algorithm we have trained on the 80% of the data, I'm going to check the performance of that like a model. I'm going to check the performance of that algorithm on the remaining 20% of the data, which is completely unseen, which is something which my model never seen. So guys, you can see that over here I've taken the test size as 0.2, which means that 80% of the data. Okay, so which means that the ratio will become 80-20. Okay, so 80% of the data. So from the entire data set, 80% of the data I will take for training, for the training purpose, and the remaining 20% of the data I will keep as it is to test the data, to test the model, to evaluate the model. Okay, so now guys, you can see what is the shape we are getting. So for training the data, for training the model, we have 4,135 samples, and to test the model, we have 1,034 samples. Okay, so this is a sample, or this is the shape of my test data, and this is the shape of my train data. Okay, now guys, I can try to build the model finally. Okay, so finally we can try to build the model now. So for building the model, guys, I told you what algorithm we can use. So we can use the algorithm naive Bayes. Okay, and for doing the evaluation, what matrix we are using? So we are using the accuracy score and confusion matrix and all. Okay, so let's see what result we'll get. So this is how, guys, we can create the instance of naive Bayes. So CLF. So CLF stands for classifier. Okay. So I've created the variable. So you can take any variable over here. It's not necessary that you need to check CLF. Okay. Just to just for an appropriate name, I have taken CLF over here. And then I have created the instance of Bernoulli, the naive Bayes. Okay. And then we are trying to fit our training data. Okay. So you can see, like, guys, in this particular model, I'm only fitting the training data. I'm not using test data over here. Okay. So we are fitting the training data, X train and Y train. And then we are making a prediction on the test data. Okay. Now, guys, you can try to come. So you are getting some value into the Y pred, and into your Y test, there's already a value. There's already a spam and ham values. Now, guys, if I try to check the accuracy score, so my accuracy score is coming out to be 98.9%, which is approximately 99%, guys. Okay. So this is our accuracy score, which is coming out to be 99%. It means, guys, my model is too good. Okay. So my model will predict the correct result 99% of the time. Okay, so your model is this much good that your model will produce an accuracy score of 99% each and every time. Okay, so maximum number of time will get the correct answer. And I can try to plot the confusion matrix, guys, because confusion matrix will give you again, guys, this confusion matrix will give you the visual representation of your result. Okay. So let's see that what kind of a visual representation we are getting. Let's try to understand this, guys. So 0, I told you that 0 stands for ham and 1 stands for spam. Now, guys, there are 913 messages which are ham, and my model predicted it's correctly. My model predicted as ham. Okay, it means this is a correct prediction. Okay, so you don't need to check this diagonal values, because these diagonal values are nothing but these diagonal are the correct predictions. Okay. The values which you are having into the diagonal, these are the correct predictions. Okay, so if you try to take the total, so 913 plus 110. Okay, so it will be what? It will be 1023. So out of, let's see, guys, out of 1034, 1023 times your model predicting means, so 1000 out of 1034 messages, your model predicting 1023 messages correctly. Okay, you can see the number, guys. Okay, out of 1034. Okay, out of 1034 messages, your model predicting how many messages correctly? 1023 messages correctly. Okay, that's a great achievement, guys. This is a great achievement of my model. After this, guys, after this, you can see like how many incorrect predictions my model done. So only 11. Okay, my model predicted, my model makes a mistake only for 11 times. And you can check that like a mistake. So 4 times my model predicted ham messages as a spam message. Okay, so 4 times. 4 times my model predicted ham message as a spam message means it is actually, it was happened only for 4 times that my model predicted any valid mail as a non-valid mail, and 7 times my model predicted any invalid mail as a valid mail, means any spam message as a ham message. Okay, so in total only 11 incorrect predictions my model has done, only 11 mistakes my model has done. And let's assume, guys, if you want to reduce even this error also, if you want to do no mistake, so you can try to maybe do some more pre-processing. Okay, because 99% is a too good accuracy, but still if you want to make it 100%, you need to maybe you can try to do more pre-processing. Okay, so that's it, guys. You can observe the result and you can see like this result is definitely too good. Okay, no one can definitely counter this particular result. Okay, so fine, guys. Yeah, is it clear till this? Now I will show you the final submission where I will take one I will take any random message and my model will make a prediction in a real time. Okay, but yeah, guys, is this clear to everyone, this entire report part? Okay, so you can see like how well our model is performing over here, guys. Yeah. Fine, guys. Now we can try to deploy this model. Okay, we can try to deploy this model. So anytime, guys, if you want to deploy your model, deployment means I want to see the prediction. I want to see this particular model working in a real time. So if you want to check this model working in a real time, so what you can do, you can first try to save this model. Okay, so you can try to save this model. So you can see my model name. What is my model name? My model name is CLF. Okay, so CLF is the name of my model. So I can try to save my model into the pickle form. Okay, and I can also try to save the vectorizer, means means my vectors also, because guys, when you take the message, whenever you write any message, so definitely that message will not automatically convert into the vector. Okay, you need you need these like a vector form. Okay, so I need the vectorizer as well. Okay, so that's why we actually dump this vectorizer and the model. Now, guys, let me open this PyCharm. So I can try to run it on a PyCharm, and we can try to deploy it by using the application called Streamlit. Okay, so let me show you guys the spam detection. Yeah, so we can try to import the Streamlit. Okay, so Streamlit, guys, Streamlit is nothing but it's an API. Okay, application programming interface. So Streamlit is an API. So we can try to use a Streamlit API to deploy my model. Okay, so we can use the Streamlit, and you can use like you can see that again we are using the same libraries over here, nothing like extra. After this, guys, we can simply try to you can see like I can try to load my vectorizer file, and I can try to load my model file. Okay, so you can simply try to go on to the PyCharm or VS Code, guys, anywhere. Okay, so I'm using a PyCharm over here. So you can try to simply you only need to upload these two files. Okay, one is model.pkl and another one is vectorizer.pkl. Okay, you only need to upload this two file. And for transforming a text, okay, so for transforming a text, whatever the steps you have applied, you can simply try to copy and paste the same step. Okay, so from your code, you can simply try to copy and paste the same code over here. Okay, after this, guys, you simply need to give one condition. Okay, you simply need to give the condition that if the result is equals to 1, so I want to show it's a spam message, and if the result is 0, I want to show it's a not spam message. Okay, so fine, guys. Now if I try to run this, so I can show you. You can try how you can run this. So you can write Streamlit. Okay, Streamlit, and then name of your file. So the name of my file is spam detector .py. Okay, Now, when I run this, I will show you the result. Okay, sorry, it should not be a Streamlit spam detector.py. It should be Streamlit run. Okay, Streamlit run spam detector.py. Now you can run it, and now guys, it will be you can actually see the result on your local host. And guys, now I will show you that how you can observe this. And now guys, I can take any like a message. Okay, so I can try to take any random message. Okay, I can try to take any random message from the like a notebook. Okay, so let's take any random message guys from here. So I can try to take and I don't and guys, I will take the random message in this form. Okay, because all the pre-processing will be done internally. Okay, so I will not take a transform message. I will take like initial the sample message only. Okay, now guys, now if I put this message into this box, okay, so you can see like I have put one message into the box, and now let's make a prediction. You can see it's a spam mail. Okay, you can see it's a spam message. So this is what guys we want to build, and now this is your own spam mail detector. Okay, it's a spam mail detector model, guys. Now you can put it anywhere, and you like anyone can you can also try to deploy. You can also try to now, guys. You can try to deploy it on like there's a Streamlit like website. You can try to host it on the Streamlit website, and you can also try to host it on the Heroku. Okay, and then you can try to provide the link to the interviewer, or you can try to give the link into your like a GitHub or LinkedIn. So anywhere, anyone can simply click on that link, and they will get this particular website. And then if they try to put any message over here, so you can try to put any message from your like a mailbox also, or maybe like from your SMS box also, and you will and it will definitely predict whether that message is a spam or whether it's a not spam. Okay, so guys, I think now all of you understood this end-to-end model. Yeah, is it like beautiful, guys? Yeah. Can I get any thumbs up quick into the chat box? Any thumbs up, any yes? Yeah, okay, guys. And those who are actually requesting me, who are requesting to run it on a collaboratory, guys. So it's very simple. Okay, so what you only need to do is you can just try to open any like a new folder over here. I'm actually telling you from the very beginning, and you can give any name. Okay, so let's say spam message detector. Okay, let's upgrade. Okay, so I can try to give any name over here. Okay, and you can try to create like a one folder. Now inside this folder, guys, okay, just guys try to look at very carefully, because you are the one who are asking me this particular question. Now you can try to put the data set and the notebook. Okay, so I have already given you the data set and notebook. So you can try to simply take the data set and notebook over here. Okay, once you have done this, okay, after this you can try to open like a notebook. You can try to open it. Try to open the notebook over here. Now once you open the notebook, guys, okay, it takes some time. It will open, because it is actually depend upon your like internet speed. You can try to simply click on the connect. And one more thing, guys, that it will you only need to make one change, and then like the entire you and then guys, you only need to run the code. And what that one change you need to make, so that one change is nothing but, guys, you need to mount your drive. Okay, just click on this mount drive. Okay, you will get the option of mount drive. Just click over here. Once you click it, you'll get this particular like a code automatically into your like a notebook. You'll automatically get this particular code. Just run this code. Okay, just run this particular code. Once you run it, It will connect to Google Drive. It will ask to connect with the Google Drive. Just connect with your Google Drive. Click OK. Accept it. Continue. Okay. Continue. Okay, and that's it. And it takes some time for mounting the drive. So why we are mounting the drive? Because I want to access the material which is present into my drive. Okay, so this particular data, guys, is actually inside my drive. So that's why we need to mount the drive. Okay, now just open it again and you'll get the drive over here. Now, guys, into my drive section, I have uploaded this particular folder. So what is my folder name? So my folder name is spam mail detector. Yeah. And inside this is my data set. So what I will do, I will simply take the path of this data set, copy path. And over here, guys, over here, I will simply paste that path. That's it. Okay, now I can run this. I can run this. And you can see, guys, now you can simply run the code as it is. You don't need to do anything else. And each and every line of the code will run without any like error, without any warning. You are able to run like each and every line over here. Okay, so that's what, guys, you need to do. Okay, so I will run it till the end and I will not get a single error. I will not get a single like a warning. Okay, you can see this every line of the code, guys, is running over here. You will not get a single error or single warning till the end. Okay, is it clear? Those who are asking ask me to like run it on a collab, and you can see, guys, that how simple to run it on a collab. Okay, if you're not able to do it anywhere, if you're not able to do it on a PyCharm, if you're not able to do it on a VS Code, if you're not able to do it on a Jupyter Notebook, guys, then it is my simple request, just try to run it on a collab. Okay, you don't need to do anything extra. Just open your drive, put all the materials over there, then open the collaboratory notebook. Okay, then open the notebook. Okay, if you're not open, so it means that collaboratory is not you never use the collaboratory. Okay, if it is not open, then you never use the collaboratory. So for that, you just need to do one simple thing. Go get into the more. Okay, you get more option over here. So if you're not getting the collaboratory option over here, just click on connect more apps. Once you click on the connect more apps, you'll get like a pop-up over here, and you can search for the collaboratory and you can try to download the collaboratory. Okay, once you download it, you can easily run it over here. Okay, fine, guys. I think Harsha is the one who's asking this question, and I think there are Ashok, you also asking this particular question. So I think now you can see that how we are running it onto the collab. Yeah. And you can see, like, nowhere I'm getting any error or any like a warning. So each and every line is running like a smoothly over here. Okay, so fine, guys, this is the like entire code, end-to-end code. Yeah, I understand I understand Sampath, that there can be some confusion with the maybe with the final code. Okay, but you don't need to confuse, you don't need to like worry a lot. Just try to go through the code maybe one or two times and you're able to understand it. Okay, so I just need to give you like a brief about this code. So this code is actually divided into two sections. In the first section, you can see I simply try to transform the text, because you are not going to pass the transform text into your through your like a model. Okay, so let's say if you try to share this particular application with someone, so he will definitely not pass the transform text. He will pass the text like as it is. Okay, so the way he received the message, in the format in the format in which he received the message, he will try to write the message in the same format. He will definitely doesn't perform any transformation over here. Okay, so for that reason, guys, you need to you need to write your transformation code. Means whatever the pre-processing you have done, you need to write that code over here also. So you can see that we first try to convert my data into the lowercase character. Then we try to create the tokens. Then we try to remove the stop words. Okay, so all the pre-processing which you have done over there in your like a Jupyter notebook, you can simply try to copy and paste the same code also. It will not bother. Okay, so you are trying to do the same thing over here, and after that you are simply trying to load your model, your vectorizer file, model file, and then you're trying to take the input message. Okay, you can see you are trying to take the input message. Okay, and then whatever the message you have received. Okay, so you can see like I'm actually receiving the message into this variable input SMS. And after this, guys, you can see that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to transform this input message. I'm trying to apply this particular function. So this function is nothing but transform text. Okay, the transform text is a function where I have actually done all the transformation. Okay, so by using this particular function, I try to transform whatever the input message we have received. I try to transform it into the proper format. Okay, proper means the proper format means where there is no noise. Okay, and after this we apply the TF-IDF. Okay, means our vectorizer. Okay, and then we are making a prediction. Okay, and yeah, definitely, guys. I will share the code. I will share like the code, and I told you that all the code, all the 3 days like a notebook, all the code are already available onto your like a documentation session. Okay, so if you go onto your documentation section, you'll get all the codes. Okay, you'll get the code maybe by tonight or by tomorrow morning. Okay, so before guys, just try to be patient, maybe till like a morning 10 a.m. Okay, because before 10 a.m. Maybe definitely, if it is possible, the team will definitely upload this particular like the entire like a material. But like, yeah, you can try to check after 10 a.m. tomorrow, and you'll get all the material in this particular documentation. Okay, all in one documentation in this particular like a link. Okay, if you're not and I told you that you can also check into my GitHub as well. Okay, so both the places the materials are available, and it will be uploaded. If it is not there right now, so it will be uploaded by tomorrow morning 10 a.m. Okay, fine. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this particular boot camp. I hope you learn like a lot of things. Yeah, guys. So it's a time to say final goodbye for this particular boot camp. Definitely we'll meet like very soon with some other boot camp. Okay. And I really enjoy, guys, with you, because you guys never feel me feel me bored. You try to give me the answer into the chat box. So I really enjoyed your company. Thanks a lot, guys, for the support. And I hope, guys, you also enjoyed the session. Okay, you also enjoyed this like a boot camp. So yeah, guys. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks to everyone. Ashok, Mahiyal, Surya, Krishna. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot for your like valuable feedback. I hope all of you have enjoyed the session. All of you enjoyed the boot camp, and we'll meet again. We'll meet like very soon with some other project based on maybe NLP, deep learning, machine learning, and like these techniques. Okay. So thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Good night. Have a good luck. Bye bye. Okay.